Oh, hi. Sorry. Dr. Garber? Great. Sorry, my headphones were. Did you say something? Oh, sure. Well, it's sort of a long story, but I will try to make it quick. Basically, I think I may be developing some sort of superpower. Yeah, a superpower. Sure, yeah. I don't know, I just thought if I was the sixth patient you'd seen today who said they had superpowers, maybe you'd be like, I'm a general practitioner and this is a very specific and very bizarre pattern. I must get to the bottom of this. But it sounds like it's a me problem, so I guess I'll just start. It's not like I have one symptom. It's like, have you ever seen one of those documentaries about archaeological digs? Or like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, too? Yeah, Bridget goes on a summer program and discovers a skeleton and reconnects with her long lost grandmother. It doesn't matter. The point is that over the last few months, several months, it's like I've been uncovering some sort of artifact, like brushing off dust and chiseling away at it with a tiny little, well, it started a few months ago, several months ago. I started to feel like an old version of me was being erased, which sounds dramatic, but I've seen enough superhero movies to know that that's a sign. I mean, have you ever seen Dark Knight Rises? It doesn't matter. The point is that it always comes from a lack, right? All superpowers come from a lack. Like, he is an orphan. He's an outsider. He has a thirst for knowledge, but an utter disrespect for the scientific method. And that's when I thought, I don't know, like, weird. But then things started to reappear. They were not quite the same, but at least they were there, so I dropped it. No, unfortunately, not even close. At that point, that's when I started to notice patterns. And I know what you're gonna say, the human brain loves patterns. It makes them up. But like 4 pigeons would sit on my windowsill over here every day. Pigeons in a row. That's weird. I mean, I feel like I'm not accurately describing this, but trust me, it was bizarre. And then, this is the weirdest thing. Do you know Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or like Bert and Ernie? I became like that. And I know Bert and Ernie are two different, but it's like there were two sides of me, opposites. I couldn't sleep, and then all I could do was sleep. The room grew stuffy, and then it was like there was so much oxygen I couldn't breathe. I spent several days just sitting here by the window, opening and closing it. Have you ever seen Clarissa Explains It All? Never mind. The point is that I just couldn't settle, right? My joints. Doctors deal with joints. This will be an easy one for you. My joints were stiff, and yet I felt like I had to run a half marathon. No, I didn't run a half marathon, but at that point I started to, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but I started to look stuff up on the internet, and I thought like, okay, you know how all those dolphins return to the canals? I thought maybe I had contracted some sort of dolphin transmitted disease like Peter Parker and the spider, only, have you ever seen Zeus and Roxanne? Well, I thought whatever I had gotten from a dolphin. No, I've never been near a dolphin, but I thought, you know, maybe it could be airborne or like something I touched, or a person who had been near a dolphin touched something I touched, you know? So I bought all this tuna to see how my body would react. Not well. I hate tuna. And I think maybe that's what cured me. My hatred of canned tuna told my brain, you are not a dolphin. You can't be, because then I felt a lot better in terms of dolphin-related ailments. Almost. At that point, I got a new job. I am the host of an online escape room. I play this villain with a monocle, and I lock groups, mostly startups and annoying families. I lock them into a virtual room of their choosing, and they have to solve these riddles to get out. It's my job to kind of throw them off the scent. So if they're like, I think it's in the urn, I pop in and I'm like, oh, who would put a key in an urn? I mean, I would put a key in an urn, but the point is that I have to try to keep them in there for as long as possible. And that was totally fine at first. But then I started to get this itch to like set them free. And that's when all of the other symptoms came back. The disappearances / reappearances, the patterns, the two of me. My apartment grew and shrank. My plants withered at my touch. Yeast grew and bubbled in my kitchen cabinets. My skin got dry right here. My eyes became pink where they should be white. I got sick to my stomach, so I gave up dairy and wine. Well, mostly dairy. Have you ever played Oregon Trail, the video game? You know how they're always dying of dysentery? I thought maybe I had that, or like chlamydia, or hypothermia, or a broken axle, or a stolen ox, or a lack of resources, a need to trade and ford a river. I thought maybe I was a pioneer or a superhero with powers to both be a pioneer and cure the pioneers, because then all of a sudden, well, okay, not all of a sudden, but slowly, eventually, my symptoms went away and they haven't come back. And it's been a week or a few weeks, actually. I know, it's ridiculous, right? I mean, what does it all mean? I had all of these symptoms and then they just stopped? It sounds fishy to me. And I feel okay, but is that really okay? So you think I'm normal? You think I'm just doing the most basic, normal person thing? Healing. Just healing? Interesting. And in theory, this healing doesn't make me a superhero. Fascinating. No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm good.